Hello, everybody. Welcome to PDC Season 8 Semi-Upper Finals playoff game between our Pause One is Legend and Jason Voss Foundation Picks for the Cure. Granola's team versus Jay Bear's team. This is going to be a good one. Two of the best teams in this division laying off in the finals. Loser goes down to the lower brackets and has to fight their way to the grand finals. Winner just has keeps sailing on ahead. I'm joined tonight by co-caster Pi. Say hi.
Hello.
And she's going to be probably the color commentator, but we'll figure out what the roles are as the draft goes on. And speaking of draft, what do we have here tonight? So we have the Clockwork Band. That is a signature pick by Crash. Rasta is kind of just a generically good support hero right now. Pugn is also picked a lot by Crash, so really going after Crash's heroes. Wraith King is just like a general hero that Jerry likes to play. And once again, these playoff teams seem to know who to ban against our Pause One is Legend, going after that CK early. Didn't see CK get banned a lot first phase, and our Pause One is Legend picked CK a lot. To great effect. That position for CK definitely did a lot of work. And the Queen of Pain is an Emu hero. Surprised to see it banned so early. I don't think our Pause One is Legend likes to pick their mid very early on. Second phase at minimum. And Prophet is. I don't think our Pause One is Legend has played Prophet in this league. That's probably just a we don't want to play against this hero kind of ban.
Drabs, I believe, played it against them in their scrim.
Oh, on a scrim? Okay.
I believe so.
So first picks coming out, we have Venge, which can be flexed into basically any position. Most commonly seen as a support or as a 3. And followed up by the Tusk, which Tusk was picked twice, if I remember correctly, last week by our Pause One is Legend as a replacement for that CK. Very strong, either 4 or 5, really gives a lot of damage amp to whatever carry you're pairing it with. And I would expect some kind of ranged carry, like a Weaver or a Leaner or something like that, to pair with that Tusk. Further bans coming out, Kunkka, Ember Spirit. So Jason Voss really doing their most to try and ban out Emu's hero pool. Emu has played quite a few heroes in this league. Some of the more common ones would be like Storm Spirit, Necro, Lena, those that haven't been banned at least. So I feel like it's pretty hard to ban out Emu. They're just getting rid of a lot of like the high impact heroes that he's had success with. Earthshaker is the second phase ban. Our Pause One is Legend removes, and that's I think that's for Blocka. Blocka likes to play that mid. So nothing too surprising thus far. I'm curious to see if the teams kind of stick with their guns or try something new, because I assume they've scouted the hell out of each other. And so they're probably looking to pick heroes that counter whatever the other team does. I have not watched a lot of Jason Voss this season, so I'm not too familiar with how they play. The games I watched last week were very they kind of relied on drafting to win their games. Like Jared definitely played very well in whatever position one he got it, especially the game 2 Phantom Lancer performed very well above expectation. But I have a feeling that they're more like trying to pick like a strong draft centered around their 1 and just try and survive laning phase and kind of just rally around Jared whenever he gets his timings. Our Plasma's Legend picks up Juggernaut very early. That's a hero that counters a lot of the heroes that Jared plays. It's also a hero that Jared likes to play. So kind of a multifaceted pick there. And the immediate counter pick Axe is pretty strong versus Juggernaut. It gives you that BKB piercing disable to cancel the Jug's TP. It's also pretty strong versus him in lane, although Axe is not a big fan of big magic damage. When facing those kind of heroes in lane, he has some regen issues. I should probably put my Twitch URL in the Discord so people know. Yeah, let me go do that.
I'm definitely interested in that they pulled out the Naga Siren for this.
So they have not picked Naga Siren that I can see this league. I imagine that's a crash hero. It's another one of those flex heroes. Or it could be played as a 2, a 1, a support.
Mm-hmm. I'd depend on where she'll be.
It gives you a nice invulnerability time for the Juggernaut. If the Juggernaut ever ults, you can just press R and kind of isolate the Juggernaut. She also gives you illusions to try and tank the Juggernaut's ultimate. Overall, pretty. They're trying to go after this Juggernaut as hard as possible. Witch Doctor gets picked up by our Plasma's Legend. That's likely going to be the Drab's hero in that position 5 role. Witch Doctor Juggernaut, very strong lane, especially against Axe. Because you can cast Maledict on Axe, chase him with the spin. It's just more magic damage. It's very hard for the Axe to deal with. Dawnbreaker, and then the immediate snap pick Medusa. Oh boy, okay. Medusa's very nice versus Witch Doctor because the Maledict doesn't do anything.
These
Versus
guys,
good.
I was gonna say these guys are gonna be super scary at late game.
Jason Voss?
Yes.
Yeah, they definitely have more of a late game timing. I'm a little bit worried about their mid game because a lot of teams have tried to pick Medusa versus our Pause One is Legend. Our Pause One is Legend's game plan, for those not aware, is they like to win lanes and then just have the supports rotate a lot to really apply pressure, kind of ruin the enemy's games, take all the towers, and then, after a certain timing, you just start pushing. So they've won their games fairly early on in this league, and you can kind of see the same kind of draft they're going for with this Tusk, Witch Doctor, Dawnbreaker. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if tag team works with Witch Doctor. That'd be a interesting combination.
That's an interesting question. Let's see. It doesn't specify anything about what type of damage works or what doesn't work. So
Well,
I'm assuming it's all.
it procs on attacks, and Witch Doctor Ward kind of counts as attacks. I'm just not sure if like a tag team works on towers or stuff like that. So final band's coming out. Plasma's Legend goes after Tiny and Puck. Tiny is played by Jabber a lot in case this is like a mid Medusa. So just getting that out of the pool. It can also be rotated mid. Puck is played by Blocka. Puck is a nice AoE BKB piercing disable for the Witch Doctor. It gives you another source of invulnerability for the Juggernaut ult. Overall, pretty defensive pick versus their team. And if I was, and Jason Voss, they'll ban out Animage obviously for the Medusa to protect it, and the Storm Spirit. Storm is okay versus their draft. A lot of disable from the Naga Axe and Venge. But it's just never one of those Emu heroes that he plays a lot. So Jason Voss, you probably want something that can kill the backline while the front line rushes forward. You kind of lack damage in the early game. So I could see something like a Lena or a Monkey. They go Death Prophet. That's definitely a big source of damage that can that's probably going to win the lane and can secure them that mid game. gives them good tower push, which they were lacking. Their disables are a little clunky on Jason Voss. The axe needs blink really to be able to get his berserk calls reliably. Venge stun is single target. Naga net is single target. And then you have like the Medusa, Gorgon's Grasp, Death Prophet Silence. It's a little slow, a little clunky. And I think they're going to be really relying on this Naga to try and like stop the momentum happening in fights when the Dawnbreaker goes in with Witch Doctoral and the Juggernaut spinning and ulting.
I agree. I think that Naga Siren pick was also a deny against straps as well.
Um, he hasn't played this league, but you mentioned they.
Yeah. I know that they messed with Naga and Nature's Prophet in a match. I just couldn't remember if it was a league match or if it was a scrim, but they've definitely used it.
So Jbear Medusa. So pause one Medusa, Blocka on the axe. The block is normally the mid, and Domo Flip is usually the off lane. So curious to see if this axe or this DP ends up in the off lane. Jug 1, Dawn 3, Keeper of the Light 2. Speaking of which, Keeper of the Light is pretty nice versus Death Prophet. You get that Wave Blast to help push out towers. It's a little squishy. So if you ever get caught out by the Venge Axe Naga, they're going to really explode you. Doesn't synergize too well with our Plasma's Legends heroes. I think it's more for the Ignis Fatuus or the Will-O-Wisp, whatever it's called. Where you apply that big AoE sleep effect. You're trying to like slow down the Death Prophet from running at you, the Medusa from getting to a good position.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of draft, I feel like our Plasma's Legend got what they wanted, which was that kind of like win lanes, rotate a lot, and get that early momentum and start pushing towers. So I don't think Jason Voss was able to really stop that. Jason Voss has a ton of counter initiation between the Naga Siren Song, the Venge Swap, the Stone Gaze, Axe peeling for you. Like, there is a lot of counter initiate. Apologies, let me get my command here. There we go. All right.
This is going to have some great banter. I can just see it.
Yeah, so far we have some good lucks. Jabber getting ready for emu tips. Both teams have smoked up. I need to enable camera zoom. I'm not going to do it now just because we might have a fight. Yeah, both teams had smoked up. They started to go towards each other, but Jason Voss starting to back up. And let's get that camera zoom on here. There we go. All right. Jason Voss doing a good job of recognizing there is a ward mid. They just go up and deward that. Early game gold for them. And I'm not going to look at or consider the lane pairings until I see what the lanes are, because I'm still not sure if this axe or this DP is going mid. Looks like DP if I have to guess. I don't think they'd put an axe against the... Are they going to put an axe against Caudal?
I don't think that would make any sense to, but it looks like they are.
Well, block is going mid. He's blocking the wave. All right. And bottom lane, we have some body blocks by Dire. They want to force the Dire creep wave under tower and make it a little bit harder for Granola to try and get those last hits. Granola's going to run after DP, who got maledicted. I think this DP's just dead. Yeah. That's the strength of the pairing right there.
I'm surprised they didn't send her mid, because doesn't she want to have her 6 as soon as possible for her impact? Doesn't she fall off late game?
I think they're more considering that Axe can't lane well into Witch Doctor Juggernaut, so they
Mm,
don't want to give him a lost lane. And so you might as well just put the DB down there who has the regen, who can kind of regen through the Maledict.
that makes sense. I
So
do feel though that they
anyway,
kind of.
go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say I do feel like they kind of gimped it though with the pairing that they have in the first blood on the DP, but I guess we'll find out what happens later.
All right, so the lanes are going to be Emu playing mid on Coddle, playing off against Blaka on the Axe. Off lane for our plus 1 as legend will be Dimitri on the 3 Dawn, Seal supporting on the Tusk 4. They're going off against Crash 5 on that Naga Siren, who is supporting Jaber on the position 1. Witch Doctor's getting very low bottom. Looks like Death Prophet and Venge are trying to kill. Jug is doing a lot of damage to this Maledict to DP, but she's level 2. She has that Spirit Siphon now, and the combined Magic Missile plus DPQ Crypt Swarm will get that kill. First Blood going to Domo Flip. Was that First Blood? No.
No, first blood was on the
Yeah, it was
DP.
Drabs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to finish off the introductions, we have Jimmy Pesto on the Avenge 4, supporting Domo Flip on the DP3, Granola on Pause 1, Juggernaut, and Drabs on the 5 Witch Doctor. In terms of lanes, Radiance safe lane is a very strong, as Naga's getting pretty low top, and not much happening there. With that spin and Maledict combo, you have quite the kill potential. It's a little bit harder now on the DP because she has that level 1 Spirit Siphon, gives you quite a bit of sustain and heal versus that Maledict. If they're able to get on the Venge, though, that should be a pretty reliable kill. In the mid lane, I don't expect Axe to do very well, although Axe did go Ring of Health to try and survive the Illuminates from Coddle. Axe is actually going behind tower now to try and snipe the wave. Axe is leading in CS. I imagine that the game plan is just avoid the lane as much as possible. Oh, and Axe is actually going to find Coddle stacks. I'm sure Coddle's not too happy about that. Did he get the timing off? He gets 1 creep. Axe is going to get the... Actually, I think Axe got all 3 there. And Black is going to run, but I think Keeper's more interested in those creeps on your tower than anything else. Top lane, we have a dive on Naga Siren tag team. Working to bring this Naga pretty low. Nice thing about Naga 5 is she is a high armor support, which really reduces the damage of that tag team. If this hero was like an AA or a Witch Doctor or something like that, it'd be a lot squishier to this tag team combo. Yeah, Axe is leading CS surprisingly. Rushing that Vanguard to get that regen versus I think that once Coddle gets these Illuminates, I don't think Axe is going to be able to lane. Axe is going to get a nice call, though. Doing a lot of damage to Coddle. Venge bottom, getting very low. Spin. Looks like it was just another spin Maledict combo. So they were able to get on top of that Venge. Top lane, this is very much a survive lane, I think, for Dire. You have that Dusa and Naga pairing. Not huge kill combo between those heroes. Neither outputs that much damage. Although they are doing quite a bit of damage to this Tusk here. Dimitri tries to scare him off with the Celestial Hammer. They're actually going to turn this. Tusk turns with Shards and Tag Team, doing a lot of damage to Crash. Crash gets that Deluge off. Will get the kill before going down. And it's pretty even in terms of kills in CS thus far. So normally our pause when his legend is pretty reliant on the pause 4 of their team, Seal, to win the lane and like rotate and try to enable the other lanes. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to be able to kill this Naga and do so without taking a ton of damage themselves. So I'm
I
curious to
agree.
see if Tusk starts rotating.
Looks like they're engaging on the Naga, but they backed off. If they had landed that Ice Blast, or not Ice Blast, the Ice Shards, I think that probably would have been a pretty good attempt.
Yeah, the Naga has to be pretty careful. Naga did go boots, very fast hero to try and avoid these Shards tag teams combos.
Cuddle and Axe are now 6, so perhaps the Axe might be rotating.
Top lane, Shards used on the Naga Siren. She's getting quite low. Dusa has that snake though. One more right click. Oh, Crash, you gonna go for it? No. Dawn will get out of there. Very low HP. Axe is running bottom with a haste. Looks like they went on DP, who was maledicted up. She will go down. Axe is nearby though. Jug has
Think they
no
wanna.
idea. Ooh, if this
Oh, that
Axe,
was so close.
yeah, if Axe knew where the Jug was, could have gone in there for a very easy chop, but forced to retreat.
Yeah. Yeah, their vision is behind their tower. So I think if they had it forward up in the lane, they would have been able to see where he was and he'd just be a dead Jug.
Yeah, DP probably could have played a little bit more aggressively there. Witch Doctor and Jug were not in or didn't have their spells. Ooh, they're gonna catch Crash up top. Naga tries to bait them with the illusion, but
Oh, fantastic.
they kill the correct one. Bottom lane Maledict on Jimmy Pesto, but Majorganut is not in range to finish that kill off. Gotta turn off my Steam settings. There we go. So I expect that once DP hits 6, this is just going to be a dead tower bottom. Doug is actually getting quite low. DP may have been baited here. A nice Kasky stuns the DP under tower. Didn't take any tower shots, but... Oh, the Maledict bounce will kill the Venge. Nice rotation by the
The
Coddle.
I agree, the Eliminate on the DP just absolutely chunked his HP.
Yeah, if Lumid hits you and you're maledicted at this stage of the game, it is, you're just a dead hero.
It helps too that he has a DD.
Top lane there committing on the Medusa. Drop shards for her. She's still over half HP, so not in a huge amount of danger. Also has the 18 wand plus mangoes. Dimitri will once again just run away. Tusk trying to waddle out of there.
Yeah,
We'll go
they're
down to the
definitely being
magic
controlled.
missile. Alright, Coddle has picked up Spirit Vessel. That's going to give him quite good kill potential on this Axe, who is actually forced to TP back to base.
And the tip comes out.
Oh, we actually got another kill bottom. It was a Maledict Death Ward. Yeah, looks like they just caught the DP out of position. Use the Maledict Death Ward combo to bring her down. I have a feeling this Coddle is going to be a menace pretty soon here once this tower falls mid.
I agree.
Looks like Dire have kind of abandoned the bottom and mid lanes. DP is walking down there. Oh, looks like DP actually tried to TP out of there, maybe. Or actually, no, it's too low cooldown. I think she TP'd the lane and died. Axe
Probably from their
probably...
last death.
Yeah. X probably wants to try and get some kills. Did go phase boots, so still quite a ways off that blink. They're going to go on the Tusk top. Venge has rotated. Very strong hero for these pickoffs. Venge actually gets 6, has the swap, swaps the DP of Dimitri. But very difficult to kill this hero, and the Coddle has come. Gonna slow up Medusa, who's completely out of mana. She pops the wand and the double mango. Dawn is going to use ult. It's going to miss. Venge has died, but Dusa did get out of there. She's still 0 mana. DP rotation with the ultimate is going to bring down that Coddle. They're going to look for more. Can they bring down this Dawnbreaker?
Nice. They
Crash is
got
going to go
the
down.
they got the Naga Siren,
Yeah, sick
and
call by
then
Axe. Finds the Tusk and the Witch Doctor. Will bring down both of them. They're going to look for more. Turns around with the Celestial Hammer. Axe triple kill on Blaka.
oh, that was painful.
I feel like Jug probably should have come to that fight. But he's going to find a solo kill on the Venge bottom. So maybe
Looks like
not.
looks as though he used his Omni Slash for that, but I think with the trades that we had up top, that might not have been worth it.
Yeah, that was a 2 for 4. Well, it considers the Venge as part of that fight, so really a 1 for 4 in that top fight.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
absolutely a very nice XP and gold swing for Jason Voss there. Tusk and Witch Doctor have smoked up. They're hunting this Medusa. They did scan. So they know she's up here. Medusa has no mana, and they're going to find her. Are we going to have any TP rotations? Maledict comes out, and the Witch Doctor will... I didn't see Tag Team proccing. I'm not sure if it was doing damage. Drabs will let it
He
ride the whole way.
he did pop it, but I think it was popped earlier.
I didn't notice if it was doing damage. Actually, let me get this volume up a little bit higher. There.
At bottom, they're going on the DP.
So immediately after killing Medusa, they TP bottom to try and kill this Crash and DP down here. Crash is gonna
Songs.
pop ulti. Swap
Oh, that's
keeps him alive. The shield. I have the HP down at the bottom. If you want to look at that, we have a ult in by the Dawn. Jumps on the Axe, but the Axe has killed the Juggernaut already. Tusk very low mana. Actually gets full maned by the Chakram there. Now the Dusa has showed up. So far it's a 2 for 2. Jug and Tusk have died on the side of our Plasma's Legend. And looks like Venge died in the back. I'm not sure if that was a Maledict or what, but triple kill for Drabs.
let's see.
Jason Voss rotating a lot of heroes for these aggressions by our Plasma's Legend, trying to punish as much as possible.
It looks like the last hit of damage was 99 on the Venge for Maledict.
A little bit of a lull in the action as both teams trying to reassess the game state. Looking at items, Naga is just working towards a Glimmer Cape. Naga, or Death Prophet has it's going towards Witchblade. They're gonna find DP top with this Coddle here. Should be a very dead hero. Spirit Vessel preventing any kind of healing. Venge does rotate. They swap the Tusk under tower, so they are gonna get that. The Axe is here though, so they want to find more. Axe is going to be running at this Coddle, but with those boots of travel, very fast hero.
Looks like they're positioning to want to take this top tower. It's really low, but I'm not sure if they'll make it happen.
They've rotated heroes. It's 300 HP. They do have DP, who has a TP. She could go up there and ult for it. I think that Radiant would respawn though, and I don't think Dire wants to tempt that. Well, she's gonna go top.
The Naga Siren is gating bottom. She's got Song up in 16.
Yeah, we have a smoke rotation, Axe and Naga. Running bottom behind tower, trying to find this Juggernaut who is safely over by the mid tier 2 at this time. Although Radiant does have heroes in this bottom tier 1, Medusa is going to pop Stonegaze very early to get this Tusk off of her. But Witch Doctor on the side pops Maledict, which isn't going to do anything. But nice axe call, finds the Dawn and the Tusk, getting them pretty low. They don't have the damage, though, to get them in cooling blade range. Dusa just trying to run for her life. Tusk continuing to chase. Snowballs in, it will die, but the DP's here. Naga's preventing the DP from doing any damage, though. She cancels that ult pretty quickly, and DP is going to start doing a lot of damage. Jugs comes in, though, with the Omni. Kills that DP, and without that Crypt Swarm. Is it Crypt Swarm? No, Exorcism. I don't think Dire wants to fight here anymore.
I feel like if the Naga was just up there on the cliffside to prevent that damage going out on the DP and then not, uh, oh god, brain, Medusa, I think that probably wouldn't have been valid, but he was on the lower side, preventing the other two heroes from engaging.
Yeah, I think if Naga was isolating the heroes in the lane better to let the DP solo kill the Tusk and the, I think it was the Dawn. I think that fight would have gone a lot better. Have a couple pokes being used bottom, nothing too serious. Dragonite is farming nearby, so could come back to the fight. Has no Omni though. Both teams missing quite a few big spells right now. Axe sees the Ancients are getting pulled. Naga's gonna see the Dawn. Tusk is gonna commit with the Snowball. Naga will bait the Juggernaut. Oh no, Axe nice blink in, but Jug... Actually, Axe does go down. Jug not taking a lot of damage, got that healing ward off. DP turns around, but that Spirit Vessel will make her a very dead hero.
Just barely missed the stun.
Check out that net worth graph. So a 1 for 2. 2 cores dying on Jason Voss. Just the Tusk die on our pause when it's legend. Gold exchange will favor them in that fight.
This has been such a scrappy fight, or match, I should say.
Yeah, both teams really looking for that go-ahead fight to get that momentum.
I'm wondering if this is gonna hurt Jason Voss in the future, because the Medusa hasn't really had a lot of space to farm.
She's been rotating a lot to lanes. She's got a decent Manta timing, working towards that butterfly. Axe is gonna jump on the Dawnbreaker top, bring her down to very low. Root tries to prevent the Solar Guardian, does not work. And the Axe will get the Cooling Blade on Dimitri.
Oh, that is not good. That's 110 cooldown. Oof.
Yeah. Axe tried to get those two supports who had rotated over on the gate, but was just a little bit too slow in that blink. So item check, DP, still working towards that Witch Blade, should have it soon. They're positioning to kill this DP bottom, actually. Witch Doctor and Tusk combined. Gonna be doing a lot of damage. DP gets the silence off, that kills the Witch Doctor ult early. Heals are not gonna be enough though. DP will go down. The Juggernaut got that farming Maelstrom working towards Manta. I expect that's for the Naga Roots and the DP Silence. Top in the triangle, Axe is going to find Dawnbreaker once again. Nice blast by Coddle, pushes Axe away. The Dagon comes out, popping that Axe. And Naga's just going to TP out of there. Venge is not so lucky, a little too slow on that TP.
That save from Drabs was so good. He cast the Ancient on the axe, and that was able to save the Dawnbreaker.
Did it cancel Axe from doing something?
No, it just saved Dawnbreaker from getting chopped and having an additional damage done because of the stun.
Very nicely done. Radiant running top. I want to take Tormentor. With that, Juggernaut healing ward should be a very easy kill. Along with the Illuminates. Dawn is going Ags, has the Soul Ring Blade Mill right now. Coddle. Dagon, Spirit Vessel, Boots of Travel. This is a very firm coddle. Working towards Octarine, I think. On the side of Dire, Death Prophet did go Yule's first instead of Witchblade, needing to survive during those Maledict ticks and also purge that Spirit Vessel. Very important. Axe, Vanguard, Blink, Blade Mill, very standard, going BKB next. And the Medusa, still working towards that Butterfly. Should have it pretty soon, minute or two. Late game, I think, favors Jason Voss. Juggernaut does okay versus Dusa. If Juggernaut gets a diffusal slash disperser and is able to ult the Medusa, that does quite a bit of damage to her, and she has no way of really getting rid of it. They don't really have a support to get rid of it other than Venge.
Looks like he's thinking ahead of the game and going Monkey King Bar for that Eagle Song that Medusa's going to be wanting eventually. Or not Eagle Song, the
Butterfly.
evasive item. Yes, thank you.
Yep, so Jug not messing around trying to rush that pretty early. Maelstrom does give you Maelstrom does give you 25% True Strike by itself, so he already has sort of an answer for it. But the MKB is definitely the more reliable option when it comes to doing damage to her. Never lonely action. Our Plasma is legend. Did accumulate a bit of a lead there, but the gold is starting to swing back towards Dire, as I think Medusa, Axe, and DP just kind of outfarm the cores on Radiant. Looks like Tusk did try and go on the Medusa bottom, maybe just trying to bait a reaction, which definitely did. Axe and Naga TPing down there, got the Stone Gaze to pop off. Tusk is playing pretty aggressively. Axe has got to jump on this opportunity with the Blade Mill, bringing a pretty low Solar Guardian. Comes in to try to save. Somewhere Dawn did kill the Venge. Or no. Emu killed the Venge. I think that was in the mid lane, but we're watching the fight down here. Axe in position to get the double call off. Does so. Tusk will go down. Witch Doctor getting a very low. Snake comes out from Medusa to pick him off. Looking like a disaster fight for Radiant as the Medusa has shown up. Is big and scary with that Manta Butterfly. And DP popping the Exorcism means Radiant just has to get out of there.
They're tipping the Medusa top to answer for the Juggernaut that's pushing that lane. But looks like they might hopefully push the bottom T2, but it looks like they're just going to farm with it.
I'm surprised they're not pushing with Exorcism, but maybe they don't want to go for that trade. And with the Medusa going top, it's a little bit more difficult to push. DP is not that scary right now. Not a lot of items.
That makes sense. I would think the advantageous mid would be to do chip damage to the tower, no?
You can do a little bit of damage. You're probably not going to get the full kill off before Radiant respawns. And if you're showing in lane, it does give the enemy information about what you're doing. Like you're there, you're pushing, they can react to it. Like one of their heroes could go down there and start the fight and keep you there while the rest of them respawn. So it's a little bit risky. And if you're not going to get the tower, it's not 100%. You know, you should do it. Axe picks up Shield Rune, goes on the Seal. Ooh, nice Ice Shard, keeps him at bay. Ooh, the Witch Doctor Kasky.
Oh, that was so good!
Gonna demolish that Vengeance Axe.
He missed the call earlier on the Seal.
The nice the nice blinding light too keeps the Venge from swapping Axe to safety. He'll pick off the Venge soon thereafter. And they're going to look for more. Tusk runs into Triangle, sees the Ancients are running after a DP, but Naga's here. Tusk is a little bit alone for the moment, but Emu's coming over. Looking for a pick-off. Tusk blinks forward. They see the DP. DP will use the Tusk. Probably not wise to use that offensively. Instead, probably should have saved it for the Spirit Vessel, but DP does go down. And Naga just chilling on the rock, hoping the enemy doesn't see her.
I hope they see that courier in the bushes there, but it looks like Seal missed it.
The courier is on the high ground, so it's a little bit difficult to see him.
That makes sense. Emo on the offensive?
Tusk on the offensive. Well, Tusk getting very low to the Dusa. We'll just go down to the Jerbear.
She's got a Chrysalis now.
And Medusa's farming up. She's top net worth in the game, edging out that Coddle. Granola on that jug is about 3,000 behind. Axe will have his smoke broken by the Witch Doctor. Doesn't see Witch Doctor, so can't go in. And Dire forced it back.
DP finished her pipe. She's going very defensive, which is surprising. Wonder if they're just relying on the Medusa axe to skill.
I mean, Medusa is probably one of the strongest Leaking carries. If she's able to survive the Juggernaut ult, Jug doesn't really trade with her effectively. You also have the Naga Siren, which is like one of the best ults in the game for late game. You just completely nullify an enemy's ability to fight with the Song of the Siren. I have a feeling though that Dire are just playing for a specific timing on Medusa. She did go Chrysalis because she's been fighting a lot, but once this Scotty comes out, I think it's gonna be very difficult for Medusa for them to fight into Medusa. She's just gonna be slowing all of them.
I agree.
Mid lane, they find the Venge. We'll explode that hero very quickly. She gets the ult off, but Maledict is going to bring her down. Godlike on Emu now. Witch Doctor pops the ult. Axe will blink in, finish that hero off. Dawn comes in with Ags on that Solar Guardian. They're going to... Oh, Naga in the back doing a great job of keeping these Radiant heroes away from Dimitri, away from help. Axe with Cooling Blade. The Dawnbreaker, Granola ults in, doesn't really get a kill. They do find the Naga Siren, but that's just a position 5 there. Death Prophet has Exorcism up. Dire probably wants to bait Radiant into a fight. I'm not sure if Radiant really want to be fighting right now. I'm sure this Coddle feels very strong with his 9-second PKB though. Yeah, they're going to find DP. Spirit Vessel gets purged off immediately by the Yules. Silence on the Tusk, so they can't combo the stuns. And Radiant will back up. Very close game.
It is. It's intense.
Our pause one is legend. Definitely, they've had the advantage for basically the entire game, but Medusa is farming very well. She's going to be the big scary core that Radiant going to have to reconcile with at some point.
I agree. And it looks like Granola finished his MKB for that Medusa. And he's looking to upgrade his Maelstrom into the Mjolnir. I am concerned about Seal, who might get caught up at this Medusa. But I guess they don't see him there.
Tusk is looking for the Medusa. Tusk is gonna actually be out of position. Ooh, gets the nice snowball off, keeps Jug alive, but he will die soon thereafter. Dawn comes in with the Soul Guardian, block it immediately. BKB TPs on Axe. His team is sticking around though. Stonegaze just demolishing these heroes. Dimitri getting so low. Stays alive. Deuce is a pretty low mana though. Can't stick around. What is the AoE on that Maledict?
She used the Yules offensively. I think she's cooked. Oh, she's not. The Naga Siren.
In the back. Zoning these heroes. Look at this. Amazing positioning by Crash here. Sleeping these two heroes on the left to ensure that Rabs goes down on the right. Extremely well done by Crash. They're going to keep chasing here. Slows up the Naga Siren. DP has a little bit of mana from that Lotus. I think it was a stick actually. but they
They
don't really have the catch.
they really seem to have learned their lessons from the other two songs that they kind of missed earlier. These current songs have been just on their mark.
Dire looking to fight. Tusk has respawn, TP'd in. Nice axe call in the back. Finds two. Imu getting solo. Venge swap. Puts the Imu away from the team, actually. Dimitri does go down the side, and I think that swap may have saved the Kata's life here. Jug comes in now, has respawn, pops the... is that Swift Slash? No, full ultimate. Kill the DP off. And Axe will blink out of there. Ooh, shards don't connect. Meanwhile, on the side, Venge does go down to Drabs. He was dying to the
Beautiful.
Venge clone. Emu, they will catch the Axe in the back. Venge trying to find a Switch Doctor. You just
That was
go
a
to the
very
safety team.
that was a very satisfying cleanup on their part, from my
Yeah.
pause one is legend.
I should have followed that Axe. I'm curious how he died. I think they Emu just ran him down. Meanwhile, bottom, Coddle will find Naga Siren. Trying to go after these Lotuses. Uses the Dagon
Yeah.
before using the Solar Bind, so not getting that effectiveness. Misses the Illuminate. Is Crash going to survive here? Crash has no TP. Aw, shows for a second, I think. Ooh, Medusa's here, actually. With the
Oh
Scotty.
no.
Coddle has BKB.
Oh, is that the end for the Medusa?
Ah, she's got
No.
Stone Gaze. DP's here. They are rotating heroes in. Tusk on the side, going after Revenge. He is just out of position. She will swap that illusion away. So the sports do go down for Dire. Nothing dies on Irradiant.
That was Emo's BKB for 8 seconds. So I wonder if they're just gonna wait for that to come back up before engaging again.
Have a solo play by Axe in the top lane. Looking for this Juggernaut. Will blink call with the Blade Mill. Nice pick off by Axe there. Completely blind. Jumps into that camp. Very well done by Blanca.
Agreed.
Tusk has to be a little careful. This Venge illusion is nearby. Able to blink out of it though. So nobody has tried Roche just yet. Both teams have pretty good ways to counter Roshan. Between like the song, the Solar Guardian, the Omni, the Axe Call. Just both teams have really good anti-Roche or Roche fight deterrence. But we're going to see one now. As Dire are going to walk into the pit. This is going to go down pretty quickly. This does quite a bit of damage at this point, amplified by the Wave of Terror and Vengeance Aura. I don't think Radiant are aware of this. 3 Radiant heroes are top in the triangle farming up.
If they are aware, I'm not sure they want to take it without Juggernaut.
They could contest it, but Aegis will go to the Medusa. And I don't see how they stop this Medusa from hitting buildings.
Not with that exorcism up. Looks like they might be positioning to trade, but I think they're gonna take down that tower before they get to the T2 on Dire. Oh, maybe they're not gonna trade.
Yeah, they're gonna go for Tormentor. Just try and grab that before the high ground defense. I'm curious to see whether Dire continues for the high ground or if they just go mid and go after the tier 2s. They do have a pretty solid timing right now with that Aegis. Medusa is very powerful. But it looks like they're gonna retreat and go for that tier 2 mid.
She has her data list complete along with the Scotty. She's gonna be very difficult to kill soon. Or now, actually, even.
Yeah, this is probably the most powerful spike for Medusa. She could go like a Divine Rapier. But these core items are kind of what Medusas want before they start pushing high ground. This is the set you need. And it's only 35 minutes. She is very farmed. A full 6,000 net worth and change above the Juggernaut.
That's insane.
Now, Juggernaut can do quite a bit of damage to Medusa. He has to be able to get on top of her, though, and he has no Blink Dagger, so he's going to be pretty reliant on his team to pin her down while he runs up and ults. And I think Jug ult is basically the only way they kill this Medusa. They're going to take the slow way. They're going to go get that last tier 2 top. They're going to push the wave out. Medusa escorting it. Radiant are going to be waiting in their base. So Radiant have pretty good tower defense. Witch Doctor, very good high grounder. You have the Solar Guardian for if Radiant ever tries to commit. Poke-wise, like you have these shards to lock down a hero that gets a little bit too close. And obviously the Illuminates from Coddle and the Blinding Lights. And the Will-O-Wisps doing a lot to punish any kind of high ground attempt. I feel like Dire does have the durability to just kind of slow siege it with Exorcism plus Medusa.
They're a very tanky team.
Yes, they are. I like this Axe play. He's staying bottom to near the wave because he knows that Radiant want to push this wave out because his team is showing top. So he's expecting like the Jug or the Dawn to be down here pushing out this wave. So he's like nearby, near the wave, seeing if he can get a pick off. But Dawn and Jug not showing in wave. They are back in base, hanging out. And Dire are wasting a bit of time here.
It's interesting. Axe went Octarine Core.
It actually is pretty interesting. Sometimes you see Refresher for that double call. I guess he's expecting to be going in and out of fights quite a bit because of the Venge swap saving him, or Naga Siren's song letting him get out, or the Stone Gaze letting him get out. Like his team has abilities to let him get out, and so that gives him a bit more uptime with his abilities. Instead of landing like that one big double call, you land multiple calls throughout the fight while you burn down the enemy's resources.
That makes sense.
It's also a nice mana item for him. Axe kind of has mana issues. So Dire do take that last tier 2 top, but there's only 30 seconds left on the Aegis. So may not see a push here. They're congregating. This game is on the edge of a knife right now. How close it is. Just one fight could completely change the momentum of this game.
Definitely think that they're stalling it out, or at least my pause one is Legend is, but at the same time, that's not really the most advantageous way to go about things either.
They have Dusa, they have Naga, they have Axe. Like, these are all great heroes for late game. DP and Venge aren't the best late game. But if you look at Radiant's team, like, what do they have late game? They have a Juggernaut, basically. Like, Coddle can be okay, but not if the enemy has a lot of disable, which they do in this case.
Did the Aegis expire?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense as to why they didn't do any engagements prior.
It's gonna be a fight top as the Medusa tries to go after this Witch Doctor. She's gonna be isolated. They drop the Solar Guardian onto her. Revenge will swap her to safety. The team is right behind her. Dire want to go in. They look for the opportunity. Jug is just gonna ult in. Ooh, Medusa getting very low. Jerbear will go down. Witch Doctor ult doing so much damage in the back. Where is this Witch Doctor? Someone stop this man. Venge and Dusa dead on the side of Dire. Jug and Tusk dead on the side of Radiant. Jug does have buyback, could TP into the fight. Nice Axe call onto Emu. Brings the hero down. Triple kill for Blocka. Buyback instant on Emu.
Oh.
And they're going to bring down Blocka with that Maledict. The godlike streak goes down. And they force the buyback as well. Huge chunk of gold leaving Emu's pockets in that fight. And they're going to look for more DP running away. Has the big exorcism heal. I don't know if Coddle's fast enough to catch up. Ooh, what am I kidding? He definitely is. DP has no TP. Coddle's just going to run her down. She has the Yules. Keeps her alive for the time being. Dimitri is nearby. No blink dagger. Has to go in manually.
Her Yules is on cooldown. She used it to get away from Emo.
Yeah. Oh, the Venge comes over. Swaps the Dawnbreaker. I don't know if that was the target. Dawn's gonna ultimate with Solar Guardian. That will explode the DP.
Will of the Wisp is doing work.
Will of the Wisp keeps those heroes locked down. Venge will go down. Spawning the illusion, they will chase the illusion down and pick it. I don't think the Venge intended to swap the Dawn. I think that was a miss swap. I think she wanted to swap the DP out of there.
That's what I thought too, but it really didn't play out the way that they wanted it to. It is a TP top, and oh, poor Drabs.
Yeah, Tusk pushing mid, meanwhile. Emu and Drabs are pushing the top lane. Dusa does show up for this. I don't think they have the ability to kill her.
No, she's way too tanky with just those two. It almost feels like you need to do a full commit on the Medusa now. Eliminate just does not do any damage through that mana barrier.
They need the Juggernaut ult if they want to kill the Medusa. I feel she just does way too much damage in fights, too tanky.
Agreed. I'm sad that the Juggernaut died to the Blade Mail of the Axe. That would have been really a good play. But I don't think he noticed that it popped.
Was he just hitting, or was he,
He was spinning.
did he get called?
I don't recall, but I think he was standing next to him because he was on the Medusa. I think the Axe was positioned right next to the Medusa, and you just didn't see the Blade Mail go out.
So Radiant do get the tier 2 mid off of that. And quite a big gold swing. Their team was... How much gold is that? Actually, it was about gold parity, but now we're back up to a 4k Radiant advantage. I imagine the next objective for both teams is Roshan. Naga has an illusion in there to check for it. And Dire are positioned around the pit, waiting for that spawn. Juggernaut going for a Nullifier next to try and bring down this DP, I imagine, with that Yules. Actually have a smoke play here by Dire. Jason Voss going in. They're pinging the Tusk. Axe will blink in onto the Tusk. Tusk actually snowballed to farm, so will not have that to get out of there. And Tusk does have buyback. Roche spawns as soon as the DP walks into the pit, so that is likely going to be the play for Dire.
I guess you could say that Tusk's fate was sealed.
Oh my fucking god. Don't do that. Kato will take the opportunity while Roche is being attacked to go top and take that tower. And Tusk is still going to be dead for 30 seconds. Not enough time to really apply pressure to the base. Dire does have creeps knocking on top tower.
Aegis is back on the Medusa, and she's got a Hex now.
Yeah, the game plan for Dire is pretty simple in these fights. They have to kill either the Jug or the Coddle, and barring that, they just have to keep the Jug off of the Medusa. If they do that, the Medusa can basically just right-click the entire Radiant team. Game plan for Radiant is to stay alive on their heroes, their Coddle as long as possible, just try and do as many Illuminates as possible in fights, and try and get that Juggernaut, who now has Blink Dagger, on top of that Medusa to get the Omni off. So an item check again. Juggernaut, Mjolnir, MKB, Blink, Manta, very high attack speed, Jug. Medusa did go Hex. Interestingly enough, no boots Medusa. The Axe went. He hasn't really farmed that much since we last saw him. Has that boot to travels to try and pick off. I imagine it's Jug or Dawn when they show up. And DP pretty poor. Has that pipe, Yules, BKB, very defensive items, just trying to stay alive and let that exorcism do the damage in fights. Keeper of the Light, also an Octarine, level 5 Dagon, Aghanim Scepter. Just trying to 533 move speed in fights, just trying to stay alive and run around, spam Illuminates. And the Dawn, kind of a mixture of damage and tank. Well, mostly tank. Ags, BKB, Shivas, Blade Mail, just trying to soak up as much damage as possible for her team. Her team is not very tanky behind her.
Juggernaut has a blink now, so he might be able to make some jumps onto the Medusa, but with the counterplay by the Axe, I'm not sure how viable that'll be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very precise timing how the fight goes, whether the Axe can get that call off or whether the Jug can get the ult off. It's kind of Jug favored because he just has to blink in, press R. Meanwhile, Axe has to wait for the blink in. On the side, Tusk will go on the Axe, kick him out of position. Axe will BKB, turn around, call up this Tusk, but Dimitri's right there with Solar Guardian. Maldic doing so much damage on this Axe. Gets swapped away. Jug actually ults the Venge, so the Deuce is completely fine, full mana right now. Venge is the only hero that died. Axe actually lived through that.
Can't believe.
And Deuce is
That
gonna
cask,
start.
though.
Yeah. Deuce is gonna start working on these towers. Radiant trying to kill the back line. Oh, the Lotus. Tusk gets in the back, kills the DP with the kick. Deuce getting now targeted because her team is dying around her. Axe on the side, very low resources, wants to find that nice call in. Deuce has the Aegis though. She's gonna go down. Deuce is gonna respawn. Oh, they know the Axe is here. Oh no, they're gonna find the Axe. They will bring him down, and Medusa is all alone. Crash actually bought back, is nearby with the song, has that. Deuce is still pretty terrifying. Ooh, Naga waiting for the Witch Doctor ultimate before using Song. That will get the Medusa out of there. She's able to TP. That is huge. Crash will likely go down for this. But buyback dying to make sure your Medusa gets out of there is massive.
I am unsure who took a more favorable trade. It looks like Radiant lost T3 and half racks, but they lost a buyback, half of their heroes, and Aegis.
Yeah, if you include the Aegis, it was a 0 for 7. And all they got was a range racks. So I'd say absolutely Radiant favored there. Plus they have the momentum now. Naga has no buyback, and they get to run down mid. Medusa will have the advantage of high ground though. This Tusk is probably just going to blink in immediately. Oh, nice Hex reaction by Medusa. Stops the kick for a moment. Deuce is going to get ulted in, drops the Stone Gaze. Deuce is trying to stay alive. Omni doing so much damage. Swift Slash follow up brings her down. She has buyback. Probably waiting on Axe respawn. Yeah, it's not over yet. Tusk will find the Venge, kick her out of position. Granola double kill. They will kill the illusion afterwards. She also has buyback. I think these heroes are just waiting for Axe to respawn before they buy back. Axe actually TPs to the tier 2, smokes up, looking for a pick in the backline. And Radiant going to run top after taking that mid set. Venge will buy back. Axe, smoke breaks. Doesn't want to jump on the Dawn. That's a very tanky hero with that S and Y too.
I am surprised with Dire favoring a late game draft. Wouldn't you have thought that they'd go for the T4s instead of going for another set of racks?
with the axe respawning and the Medusa potentially having buyback, if you get caught out hitting the tier 4s with like a double call and the DP just TPs into you, it's very difficult to take that fight, especially because Jug didn't have Omni Slash. Like
That's valid.
there is the idea that actually we have an Invis Dawn, finds the axe bottom, goes on Blanca, able to get the call off though. Good reaction time on that. Axe will BKB up, but the Lotus means the Snowball applies on the Axe though. Nice swap by Venge, keeps the Axe alive. Naga Siren keeping these heroes pinned down. Solar Guardian instantly canceled. I think the fucking Ogre in the back canceled the Solar Guardian. That is tragic. Emu BKB's up, running away. These Radiant heroes just continuing to run. Jug does not have ulti. So this is a fight that I definitely want to take. Well,
Oh!
he's just now going to get it. And,
Drabs!
oh,
That was insane. That return fight. Oh my god.
sick Omni, sick Witch Doctor will just eviscerate Dire's team.
2 immediate buybacks from the DP and the Axe.
Yeah, Dire waited a little bit too long. That Juggernaut did get that Omni Slash just in the nick of time. And use that to great effect. I imagine, yeah, Jug and Witch Doctor were the majority of the damage in that fight.
That was so good. And the Witch Doctor has Aghanims, which allows him to hit more heroes, which in
Yep.
fights like that, that's crucial.
So I was surprised Medusa didn't buy back the first time. And I'd be surprised to not see her buy back again. Because Radiant are going to take this bottom set, barring something happening.
Oh, Juggernaut's got a nullifier now.
Yep, was saving buyback, did just get the gold for that in that last fight. Juggernaut will blink out of there after securing that bottom set. 34,000 gold lead for Radiant. That went from 0 to 34 really quickly.
Mm-hmm. I think that last fight there really, well, not that last fight, but the last couple have really just turned the
Yeah.
tables.
About 6 minutes ago was a 6k advantage for Radiant. Now it's 33,000. Between all the buybacks and deaths. Radiant have been playing to their strengths a lot better. Although the courier in this late game. Like the formula is just really simple. You either kill the you either kill the Coddle or the Jug early on, or you just prevent them from using their spells. You have to prevent the Witch Doctor from ulting, you have to prevent the Jug from ulting. And it just means you got to take a fight under vision.
They do still have Banner on the DP, which I'm wondering what they're holding that for.
I don't think they've really had an opportunity to push. On the side, Witch Doctor is actually going to find the Axe. I think this is going to be a solo kill. Axe is actually going to TP back to base. Jug, meanwhile, Omnia slashes the Avenger once again. Will bring her down. Medusa's working on this Tusk. Solar Guardian keeps the Tusk alive for the time being. Axe actually did survive after TPing back to base, but they're not going to have Axe for this fight. Big part of their team. Naga ults defensively just to run away. They're going to chase after this DP now with the Exorcism. Coddle and Dawnbreaker doing a lot of damage, but DP is staying alive for the time being. Nice dodge from the Snowball. This is just going to turn around and just start right-clicking. Jug has no full Omni Slash, so they lack that to be able to kill this Medusa. Who's just going to keep right-clicking heroes. Radiant doing their best to try and kite the Medusa, but Jug will Swift Slash. They're trying to bring this hero down. She's going to keep right-clicking. This is just the longest fight ever. We'll get nullified. It finally goes down.
That's a dieback on both the DP and the Axe.
Axe died over here. Who killed him? Emu killed him. Oh, no.
Medusa finally bought back.
No, she's the only one on her team with buyback. This hero can potentially defend throne, but they've got full Omni now? No, not full Omni, just Swift Slash. It's not going to matter.
There they
Jug
are
will,
going with the.
yeah, they will have enough damage bringing us Medusa, and that will be GG game 1 going to our Plasma's Legends.
That was great. They really played to their strengths. It was a little rocky at the beginning there, but I really feel like they pulled through towards mid game.
Yeah, they definitely had the better, they had the simpler team fight draft, I feel. Between like the Witch Doctor just needs to wait for the fight to break out and then press R and just do a ton of damage. Witch Doctor
Agreed.
is actually second highest damage in the game on his team, behind the or just in front of the Juggernaut. And the Juggernaut, obviously, like all you have to do is just a blink and press R on the Medusa,
Hmm.
and that basically kills the Medusa. So nice early Juggernaut pick actually manages to counter the late game Medusa. Well, that's it for game 1. We're going to take a break here. Should be about 5 minutes. And when we come back, it'll be game 2 of this best of 3. Stick around. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to PDC Season 8 Upper Semifinals playoff game, but best of three between our Plasma's Legend and Jason Voss. Foundation picks for the cure. Our Plasma's Legend took last game after a pretty tight back and forth, but the late game just went the favor of our Plasma's Legend. They had a kind of a simpler draft to execute between the Witch Doctor and the Juggernaut, and ended up winning the game with like a 45,000 gold lead or something in like a 10-minute span. It was a pretty fun one to watch. Bans so far have been completely identical to the first game. I think the last ban was, I think, Furion. So I'm curious to see if we see that once again or something different. We'll see Venge.
I speak for the trees.
And instant first pick, Nature's Prophet. So interesting that they ban out their own Venge and pick the Furion which they banned last time. And I expect this to be Crash. Crash has played it quite a few times in this league for them as the position 5. And it gives you a lot of lane power when you can just rotate to lanes, get that numerical advantage, and be able to right click. Our pause when his legend will go with the Tusk once again, who was used pretty effectively in game 1, I have to say. Decent laning phase, but it really shined in the mid game with the saves and the eventually with the ags, the kicks to get the pause one for Jason Voss out of position. I expect that after playing Medusa, JBear probably wants to play something a little bit more active this game, maybe like a PA or the Juggernaut themselves if they can pick it up, or a TA. Medusa is pretty strong versus the kind of the draft that our Plasma's Legend likes to go for, where they just kind of build up and just run at you. And with a lot of exploding heroes, you don't necessarily want to be picking heroes like a Kie or Tiny or whatever, where like they can get exploded really quickly.
Axe.
So our Plasma's Legend steals the axe for themselves. So far 2 out of 3 heroes were played in game 1. The bans for second game, or for second phase, have changed up a little bit. Jason Voss did ban out that bottle, so they don't want to see that again. And Jason Voss steals the Dawnbreaker, so both sides stealing some heroes from each other. And they go Undying. Undying is an unusual pick into Axe because the zombies proc spins. And so you can have the funny situation where if the fight's long enough, Axe can just be like spinning like a helicopter forever. Because there's just a ton of unkillable zombies on him. But it does slow the axe, and the axe doesn't like to be slowed in fights.
Link canceled too, no?
Yeah, with the blink cancel and the slows. Axe really relies on being mobile. Like you get that blink call, but then after that, if you don't get anything, it's just you have to reposition to try and get that second blink call. Our puzzle wizard sticks to their guns. They ban out the Earthshaker once again, so they're not banning any heroes that they faced off in game 1. They just deny pick the axe. In versus Undying, you generally want. I mean, Jug is still good here, but you generally want heroes that can kill Tombstone. So, like, high attack speed ranged heroes are pretty nice. Granola plays like, yeah, Jug, but also like Life Stealer and Weaver could have been decent picks versus that. But Jug is absolutely fine. You, once again, just ult the hero you want to kill. You have that good attack speed. You can Q right click the Tombstone, basically get it for free. And the axe protects the Juggernaut from getting blinked on. And right now, Jason Boss doesn't really have great ways to deal with a Jug. They basically just have a Sprout for kind of control. So we may see a Battle Fury Jug this game if he wants to get that for the Sprout.
I'm really
Another
loving the AA
instant
pick
pick
here.
Medusa. Okay, so Jason Voss says, no, we don't agree with that idea. Anthony, we're just gonna give Jervir the Medusa again. So no Witch Doctor. Instead, they go AA. Witch Doctor was not banned. AA is pretty nice reaction to the Dawn and Undying. Those heroes provide a lot of heal, and the AA kind of just prevents that from happening. I think Undying Strength gives him HP. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what the
As in
interaction is with
like
that.
HP regen or HP pool?
So AA prevents healing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure if you get just strength, it also prevents the HP you get from that healing. It's just weird because like Weaver time lapse heals through it, Sunder heals through it. So there's a couple abilities in the game that ignore AA ult. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Undying is one of them. So Jason Voss, after picking up the Medusa, they will ban the Animage once again, along with the Kunkka. So they're gonna have to find a cure that isn't banned for Emu. Storm is still in the pool. You got Necro. Lena is also available, but Lena's pretty terrible right now. And our plus one's legend goes with the Odie ban and the Puck ban. Odie kind of tells me that they want to pick or protect whatever mid they're going for. And so the heroes that are most annoyed by an Odie would be like Viper, Sand King, Storm Spirit, even Necro to kind of a lesser extent. But Necro is not good versus the Dedusa. Storm is not really good into this team. Like the only easy pick he has is the Nature's Prophet. Kunkka would have been amazing for our Plasma's Legend, but that gets banned. And I'm thinking you have enough frontline. You might be able to afford a sniper. They do have the luxury of last pick on our Plasma's Legend, so they get to see whatever this last hero is before they decide.
If they go Viper, that would be pretty good, I think, against Medusa.
It's okay. So Jason Voss picks up the Lena. That is a Blocka hero, so likely a mid Lena, replacing the mid axe they rocked last game. It's also a deny pick because Emu does like to go Lena, and that's a ranged, fast hitting hero that's really good versus Tombstone. So it's pretty good pick overall. It does die to Juggernaut. She has no built-in way to stop the Omni Slash, and if Juggernaut gets a nullifier, she has basically no way of stopping it. Undying does have the Tombstone save once Undying gets shard, so you can Tombstone save an ally to get the ultimate off of them. I'm thinking that's what the Undying pick is for, and why the Jug wasn't banned. Our Pokemon is Legend. You want to pick a hero that does decently well versus Lena, and they've banned a lot of Emu heroes. So you could do Sand King. I think it's going to be Sand King or Sniper. I'm not sure what else Emu plays besides those heroes that is good for Selena that isn't already banned. What do you lack? You lack a little bit of damage. Our puzzle is Legend. It's okay. It's gonna be the
Oh,
sniper.
Sniper.
The sniper is just nice to have because it gives you a long range way of killing the tombstone really quickly. It's also nice versus the Lena because Lena has a harder time versus the sniper. Can't really right click them. And this does mean like last game Emu was, an absolute menace getting solo picks, running around the map, just dominating lane. You can't really do that on sniper as easily. At least. I mean you can like go fucking shard blink really early on. But it's definitely gonna be a more passive game from Emu, I feel. That's gonna give this Medusa a little bit more space to farm up those items that she needs. So the big difference this game, pretty similar drafts overall, but the biggest difference is Jason Voss has the Undying Tombstone for for the Juggernaut ult instead of the Vanish swap or the Naga ult. Well, Naga ult doesn't really do anything, but they're lacking the Axe Call and the swap. So it's really just going to be, can this Undying, Tombstone, whatever, well, the Medusa when the Jug ultimates Medusa. So late game, if it gets to late game, I expect this Undying to just be sticking to the Medusa like jelly, trying to protect her.
How does the decay work with Medusa since her HP pool is essentially her mana pool?
Well, the Undying is on the same team as Medusa, so it doesn't come up this game, but it does damage to the Medusa, and Medusa, she still can get strength, but if she has any, it's gonna go down.
Well, I guess that's my question is... Oh, okay, never mind. I'm misunderstood. Never mind, I misremembered some of his abilities. I was thinking Soul Rip.
Ah, okay. Yeah, like the only hero that can quote unquote heal Medusa really is Coddle, with the chakra.
Mm-hmm.
And we're probably going to have a fight here this time as Radiant will walk high ground into the Tusk. Tusk has not leveled anything just yet. Juggernaut has spin. Starts working on Undying, who gets the Tombstone off. This is a strong commitment by Undying. You hate going into lane with Tombstone. But it's going to end up getting a kill on Granola, but Emu gets the first blood onto Jimmy Pesto. Will go down for it, block at getting the pickup kill, and now this AA is in trouble. Zombie chasing him. Nice sprout by Crash. Will bring this hero down. Top. Don will actually chase the Tusk under tower and get that kill. 4 for 1. Radiant.
Oh, that is a rough start.
Yeah, rough start for Dire.
And they're gonna get 4 runes out of this?
It's going to be... Axe is actually going to pick up both runes bottom, so it's not complete disaster. Alright, starting off introductions before the lanes can get together. Jayberry is going to be playing Pause 1 Medusa for Jason Voss, supported by Karash on the Pause 5 Furion. Dimitri will be playing Axe for Dire, supported by Seal on that position for Tusk. Mid lane, as I pull up the last hits and knives, it's going to be Emu on the Sniper and Block on Lina. Top lane, Dawnbreaker is going to be played by Domo Flip, supported by Jimmy Pesto on that Undying, facing off against the Granola Juggernaut once again, and Drabs on the AA. So no Witch Doctor this game. So you have a little bit of a slower laner with that AA. But it's still going to be really annoying for this double melee matchup to go into. How do you expect these lanes to go, Pi?
Honestly, it's hard to say. Against the Medusa, it looks like they won't have as much kill potential because it looks like the crash is going on Dimitri already and bringing him pretty low. But with that being said, I think they may have a disadvantage, especially with the first bloods that they've lost at the first start. Top lane, I think they might be able to make something happen with the AA, but they're also against a couple of really tinky melee heroes. Emo's just a fucking monster mid, so I think he might be able to win his lane there, but otherwise I think it might just be a draw on the side lanes and then Emo winning mid.
Alright, let's see if that comes true. Yeah, Sniper's one of the few heroes that does well versus Lina. So I do agree. I think Sniper is going to win this mid lane, or at least do very well in it. I just don't... It kind of remains to be seen what the Sniper does after the laning phase, though.
Agreed.
Because Emu is definitely one of their big playmakers.
Medusa this round is definitely giving them a run for their money. With that gold advantage and the experience advantage.
Seems like Lena is... It's about a tie in the mid lane. Lena does get 4 first, but Sniper's going to get that back as creeps are dying under tower. Bottom lane, we have a little bit of a fight on the Lotus. Prophet getting a little bit out of position here, but he's full HP. Able to just bully these double melee lanes. So I realize now that both sides actually have double melee off lanes. Going for that really high impactful playmaking heroes in the off lane. So both off lanes are probably going to suffer a little bit as a result of that. Dimitri getting so low. One right click would have been it. Has to be careful about the axe dying. Mid lane Sniper did find Lena. Gets him with the level 3 shrapnel. As I'm watching this bottom lane, the Radiant's playing very aggressively. They really want to kill this axe. Between the Sprout and the Snake, it does quite a bit of magic damage, which Axe suffers against in the laning phase.
If that root landed, he would have been a dead man. I think Steel is sacrificing himself for the kill on the Nature's Prophet there.
He's going to get the kill, but Deuce is going to get the solo XP. Seal's probably happy, but I think Radiant are overall happier about that.
Agreed.
Juggernaut, very low top. Undying is trying to find them, but Jug's just hiding in the trees. He's going to show under the creep wave, so Dawn is going to play a little bit aggro.
Oh no, not the Nature's Prophet.
Furion will TP in, find the Juggernaut, sprouts him up. I'm not sure if Blade Fury was on cooldown or not, but Jugga did not use it.
I think he wanted to die there.
No, you never really want to die as the carry, but in that position, you weren't getting out. Sniper will actually TP top to find Domo Flip under tower a little bit deep. We'll pick up that kill. This does mean, though, that Lena has a free time on this tower. We'll start doing damage to it.
Are they gonna get the Pesto?
They need the Juggernaut to be a little bit closer to Undying before they're able to get that kill. Kind of want to watch mid because both mids have their 6s. And so I expect they're going to try and go on each other pretty soon here. Actually, top Undying a little bit low, gets out of position. A will commit for it. Undying gets the Tombstone off though. That will mean this is a dead AA. Furion is TPing in. Actually cancels the TP for the time being. I think Tusk actually canceled it. No, it didn't cancel it. Prophet just stopped it. Used to getting very low bottom. Pops 2 mangoes to try and get away from this axe. Dimitri's just going to run her down though. Has that level 2 Berserker or Battle Hunger. And Dimitri now is actually going to get brought down. Undying TP'd over with that decay, brings the axe to the Undertaker. Nice snowball by Seal, gets out of the firing line, and we'll be able to escape. Top lane, Dumbo Flip now, in trouble, as Jug is going to spin and run at her. Badon is a very tanky hero. Very difficult to bring that hero down. Undying is coming from behind, though. Drops the ward behind them. Jug has no spin. They know this. They're going to be running at this Jug, but there's no real catch between the Dawn and the Undying, so he's going to be able to get out of there. Bottom lane, we have another scrappy fight. Crash is trying to bring down Seal. Has that urn. Uses it, but not enough to kill Seal. Axe now, getting very low. Will actually bring the Deuce down far enough to get assassinated as the Sniper once again rotates to get that kill. Double tip coming out to reciprocate that tip that Jerber did. When
that was a
went
beautiful rotation by the emo.
Yeah, Sniper's been very active. I was a little bit worried in draft phase that Sniper wouldn't be able to get a lot done in the early game, but absolutely he's been spending his TPs to get these nice rotations.
I think that just kind of comes down to... Oh, we got another fight in the mid lane. Looks like they actually might be able to take him down with the rotation by the Dawnbreaker and the Nature's Prophet. Oh, they didn't! Rotations by the Tusk and the AA.
The tip war has begun. as the sniper did get out of there, but it seems like both supports are going to go down. If Furion just runs with Sprout, he should be able to land it.
Oh,
Misses.
just barely.
Yeah, I think if Crash had just walked with the A and pressed Q when it came off, I think that would have been a kill. Especially
I
with
think
that
so
urn
too.
coming off cooldown. But A will get out of there. Lena does die.
That that was
Sniper
a
does
real
live.
butt clencher.
Butt clencher.
Yeah.
A may have gotten a little bit too greedy though. Went back for the wave. Prophet was still in the area. Needs one more right click. Oh no. Prophet.
Creep wave might do him in.
Crash. No, Crash.
Oh
Evo,
no.
You're gonna
No,
run
the
out of tips
double.
before 10 minutes.
Oh, that creep wave did not do him justice.
Let me turn off my. There we go. Alright.
Looks like Juggernaut's gonna go Battle Fury this game instead of Maelstrom.
Yep. I was thinking that in draft phase. It's nice to have versus the Sprout. Bottom lane, Lena's
Hmm.
going to be found by the Tusk. She will man up because she has Laguna Blade and a team. And the Axe will go down. Dimitri's not having a good game though, or as far. He's dying early in
I
these
think
fights.
I think he'll be able to play the catch-up game pretty well. I think he just needs a little bit of space to get his Blink online
Mhm.
and some other, some other items to kind of help him with that sustain. But it's gonna be rough for him.
Have a little bit of a scuffle mid. A lot of heroes dying. Crash buys back on that Furion. TP's in, but not really seeing the opportunity to get anything done right now. Sniper does go down. That is a huge kill. Domo Flip will get that gold.
Ooh. 600 gold.
Yeah, that was a sick AA blast there. Got the kill on the Undying. Got the Lena within kill range for the Assassinate. And very scrappy. With that buyback, ends up being pretty even, I think. Yeah, pretty even. How are the levels doing? Hero level, everybody has their ultimates except Undying. Undying needs to work on getting that. And net worth wise, Sniper and Dawn are at the top. Yeah. Axe not doing so well in this game. Just keeps dying at the start of fights. Not getting any kind of gold or XP. Dawn is getting very low. Where'd Dawn go? She went mid.
Uh, One thing I did notice, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't have call yet, which I thought is something that you wanted to get early on. Is this due to him being a bit behind due to the laning phase and just overall deaths in general?
So you generally get a value point in your call just for the disable if you think you're going to get kills. I think in this game they knew that the Tusk Axe lane wasn't going to do very well. So it wasn't really any kind of kill potential. So instead he opted to just max out that E to try and farm as quickly as possible.
That checks out. I do like that he's cutting the wave from the Medusa, but it does put him in a bit of a precarious position.
Mid lane, Solar Guardian will come out, and this is the Sniper, but Sniper will actually go back to the left. Not sure why he did that. Will go down. Undying falls soon thereafter. Dawn is A blasted. In better trouble, but this Lena with DD, or not DD, just supercharged, is going to be doing so much damage. Brings out that Tusk as well. Jug is here. Jug TPs. Jug wants to ult, but Jug doesn't get the bone. He will be forced to run back top. Go back to your farming lane, Granola. A
You
little bit too
tell
late.
him.
So once again, pretty scrappy, balanced early game. Neither team really favored. Lots of good rotations coming out from both sides. And I think just the big factor of this game is how much of an impact the sniper is going to be. Like it's nice versus the draft of Radiant, but once again, he was like one of their biggest playmakers. Axe is going to get called out. They dropped Tombstone very early, so if the singular zombie is chasing Axe, Lena will be doing quite a bit of damage to him. Still waiting on that Laguna cooldown. AA Blast kind of whiffs. And so Axe will go down once again, followed by Drab soon thereafter. And Crash will tip Drabs. I'm starting to get the feeling that even though it's even, the fact that this Axe is dying so much is it just kind of means that they're going to be delayed in what they can do. So this Medusa is like going to have absolute free farm, I feel.
I agree. She's gonna be able to just literally run away with the game.
Well, at least for the early part.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sniper and Jug are both pretty nice counters to her. Sniper is just nice because you can right click her for from far away. The dying bottom is getting eyed up by the Tusk. Tusk is not going to commit though. Dire are pretty content to farm. They're 1 and 2, both in safety. And just having Heroes bottom just to like pretend like they're going to be pushing this tower, but in reality, they're just making a little bit of space for Dimitri. Get some farm up.
Lena's gonna pick up a DD bottom. And
And likely wants to use it.
Looks like she's trying to find a pick.
Yeah, wanders into the triangle, not going crazy looking for something. She's a little slow right now. Kind of wants a team around her before she does anything. Dire is posturing bottom. They're pretty strong if this AA Blast is able to land. And Dire's going to start the fight with ult. Nice
that is
snowball
a
in
blast
by Tusk. But yeah, the Berserker's Call plus AA Blast doing so much. Variant comes in, gets the double kill. Janitor's up, but he's going to die for it. As the Sniper has TP'd on down. Lena has that deity, still didn't pop it. And a 3 for 2.
That kill on Jimmy and the consequential deaths after that, I think gave Dimitri a nice boost in his gold, but he's still a ways off from Blink.
Hunt for Sniper. Soul Guardian comes in, heals up the Lena a little bit. Laguna comes out. Sniper getting very low. Tries to force stuff high ground. Just ducking and weaving, getting the evasions off. Sister Shroud keeping him alive. And he will get out of there. Nope, he will die. How'd he die? I think the burn from the Celestial Hammer got him or something like that. No, it was this Blade Mill. Oh, what a play by Dawn. She stood in the shrapnel with Blade Mill to get the kill on Sniper.
Oh, that's what it was? Oh, no.
So nice clean up by Radiant. Ooh, nice 800 gold going their way.
That's just playing dirty.
Evens up the game once again. And Radiant continue applying pressure bottom with these deaths. Continue to make space for the Medusa. Dawn will commit the hammer early. Tusk does dodge with Snowball. They don't really have any good catch now. And A is here. No Ice Blast. But Dawn is going to pick up this Tusk with the help of Furion, who TP's in. Furion's actually going to be running at AA with Spirit Vessel. So AA is forced to back off. Sister Shroud picked up by AA as well. And Axe did get lucky, did get that chipped vest. That's really nice for his game. Let's take a look at the other neutral items, see what we got. Domino on Dawn, Domino on Lena, Domino on Dusa, Domino on Jug, Shroud on Sniper, Shroud on Tusk, Shroud on AA. So Dire going pretty heavy on the Shrouds. So Radiant never deward this ward down here. That gives Tusk vision to go on this Dawn. They land the nice AA Blast. She's going to be able to walk out of there, though. Ice Blast is not going to be enough to get the kill. And yeah, they have no follow-up. The Sniper was not in range for the Assassinate.
That would have been such a good kill if he was able to.
Yeah, that would have been very nice. It's just very hard to kill the Dawn. She's pretty mobile, pretty tanky. So it's going to be difficult no matter what.
It looks like their main reliable catch is just the Tusk. But even that is kind of...
I mean, yeah, they have like shards. They have shrapnels. They have AAWs. Like they have like long range stuff to slow. But the only like hard grab that they have is the Tusk.
Mm-hmm.
Until Dimitri gets Blink Dagger. Actually, Dimitri does have Blink Dagger.
Looks like
Honestly,
Tusk is also...
yeah, honestly, pretty good farm, Dimitri, considering how shit your game's been.
I agree. I think he does really well in general with playing the catch-up game. Like, he'll have a really crap lane, and then by mid-late game, he is just a terror.
Dimitri is looking to find this Lena. Smoke breaks. Unable to find anything. Hey, we'll put a ward down. So Dyer's gonna know that Radiant's around. Undying will walk into the Tusk. Tusk will miss the shards. Undying drops Tomb pretty early. Gets a couple of zombies out. This Tusk is gonna need help if they want to save him. Undying just has too many zombies on him with this facet rotting nuts. And yeah, they just got the seal die. Get clubbed to death by this Undying.
Looks like Granolla's having a pretty decent time farming. He's got his Battle Fury and a Yasha, and now he's going for the MKB.
Yeah, cores this game are pretty even. Axe, Blink, call onto Dawnbreaker bottom. They're going to go for this Dawn once again. She uses Q, gets canceled, has the Solar Guardian, uses it, goes top, and she will survive once again.
It's always these Razor's Edge dodges.
Yeah, that ward gave him 2 opportunities, never got dewarded. So Dawn didn't remember that the Tusk had vision somehow, and farmed that camp once again. But able to get away.
She is just about finished with her Aghanims.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty nice. Sniper picks up haste. It's gonna run bottom, look for something down here. Lena is farming under vision, so Axe and Tusk wander that way. Lena does see them though, is gonna be able to back up in time. Dire probably want to pick more than anything. I don't think they want a hard fight because the Jug can't get here in time. But they don't get that pick, so they're just gonna back up.
I think you were right with what you said earlier about this being a lot more of a slower game. There's not as many fights breaking out. Or at least not as many team fights as what we saw in the last match.
Yeah, with Emu not having that call, like they banned out all of his active heroes. It just means like they're playing a more defensive core farm game on Dire. It's kind of interesting. Nature's Prophet did scan the Wisdom Shrine to try and steal it. It was there though, so that scared him off from going for it.
No. Sorry, go ahead.
In the last game, last series, sorry, Crash liked to farm very aggressively. He was farming in like these areas of the map, these side camps. Has not done it this game at all just yet. And I'm wondering if I pointed it out last series and just said, hey, if you're playing against Crash Fury and just put wards in these areas, I'm wondering if that's affecting the game plan because Crash has not gone for these camps at all. Respecting Dire for potentially having vision in those areas.
That is possible. It seems as though both teams have done their research prior to these matches, so it would not be out of the ordinary for that to have happened.
Our Plus One is Legend is a pretty serious team to go up against, so I'm guessing Jason Voss is playing their A game right now. They don't want to take any stupid risks.
I can see that. Oh, that
Bottom
Walrus
lane,
punch.
Dawn.
That
She
call.
does have a Solar Guardian, but not gonna
That,
be able to get it off.
that was massive. Massive for Dimitri.
Meanwhile, mid they rotate over. They want to try and get this mid tower. Undying's going to pop Tombstone pretty early. Sniper's just going to focus it down. Nice A blast in the back. Catches his Lina along with a Blink Axe. We'll bring that Lina down along with Dawn. AA goes down on the side of Radiant. Prophet in the back, desperately trying to kill the Sniper, who's getting zombied up by the Undying with the rotting mitts. Sniper will eventually go down. This Undying doing so much in this fight, staying alive. And they're not going to be able to find the Tusk. Blink's out of there. Well, they might find the Tusk, actually. Undying is able to get one right click off this Tusk dies. But Tusk is staying just out of range. And the mid tower will fall. Nice fight by Jason Boss. Tusk actually used Snowball to farm once again. Gets the nice ult off to stop the Dawn Q from killing him. Jug will just ult the Dawn.
Oh, fantastic. That's a... Oh,
And the
no.
Tusk will go down afterwards. You can't show favoritism, Pi. You gotta be...
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I just thought it was good.
For those unaware, Pi is a hardcore granola fan.
No, 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 no. Number one Seal fan. Thank you.
And a hardcore Seal fan. So it might be some slight bias in the commentator's booth this game. But I'll try and balance it out. I
mean, they're both playing. They're both playing like to their wits' end. It's fantastic. It's great to see like what both of these teams are being able to pull out of their hats, and as far as plays that they're doing and just the pickoffs.
Top lane, Axe finds Jabber on a Medusa. A blast comes off. Not that it really matters versus a Medusa. She will get that ultimate off. Stone Gaze comes out. Assassinate will finish off the kill though. And that is a nice pickup on that pause 1 Medusa. Slows her farm down quite a bit. Bottom lane Juggernaut getting that MKB once again very early on. And Lina's going to chase him down a little bit. It looks like Lina went the Hurricane Pike. Tries to... I imagine this is to try and get on top of the Sniper. Also to push like the Axe and the Tusk away to get out of shards. Pretty nice Hurricane Pike game. Going Axe next. I'm not sure if Axe is the play. Or, sorry, not Axe. BKB is the play.
No, not against the AA Tusk.
So, like, she's definitely dying to Shrapnel AA Blast combo. But I feel like... I'm not sure. I feel like you just want, like, generic HP. BKB does give you some HP, but it's only, like, 200. I feel like just having HP and just being able to right-click would do a lot more than a BKB. I'm not sure what item that would be. Maybe an Ags? Does the Ags get Flame Cloak? Yeah, I think Ags would actually be pretty solid here. It means you have different avenues to join fights. You don't have to like walk in the determined route.
Oh, they actually changed. Okay, the shard gets the Laguna Blade upgrade.
So both sides will be taking opposite objectives. Dire goes for the Tormentor. Radiant will be going Roshan. Shard goes on the Tuskar. What kind of shard do you have, Tuskar? You got big shards. Okay. Pretty nice shard pickup. I think AA already had Ag Shard. AA would have been an also really nice pickup for that shard.
He had it already. It looks like he picked up an Atos as well, which is going to help them with their lockdown.
It's definitely nice for the catch. Especially when these like Hurricane Pikes are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So Radiant are just going to be working on top tier 2. Dire will reciprocate. Jug pushing down the bottom. They will rotate down, looks like Dawn, to try and slow down this push. That's a hero who can slow a Guardian back in, if necessary. So Dire can't really mass TP back and try and take a fight because of that. And it seems like Radiant are content to do the same thing they did game 1, where they start working on these outer towers before going high ground. They are in a similar gold deficit compared to last game. They don't have like an overwhelming lead or anything. Bottom lane, Furians get a TP in, find the AA, and bring them down with the shard. Dawn comes in afterwards with the Sword Guardian. Omni is committed. We'll just bring down that Furion and Dawn so quickly. Lena's here though with the Boots of Travel. She has Laguna Arcan. Wants to do something, but it's just her versus the world. Axe is going to call. And Juggernaut's right there. Juggernaut has that blink now, so can jump in with his supports to pick off these heroes very effectively. I'm honestly surprised that Juggernaut wasn't banned when they wanted to run the Medusa draft again.
I think it might just be that they thought it was a fluke, or they just don't respect the Juggernaut. I do believe that banning the Juggernaut, just in general, would have been a decent choice to make, simply because it feels like a big comfort hero for for Granola.
You can't really ban out Granola's heroes. He has quite a big hero pool. But it's definitely one of like the best counters to Medusa. Simply because you can just blink her and she has no recourse for it. Like Medusa generally has a nice time versus traditional right clicking carries, like a Gyrocopter, Lifestealer, Luna, TA, PL, stuff like that. Because they get affected by Stone Gaze, but Juggernaut doesn't get affected by Stone Gaze. I guess Lifestealer to an extent also does get affected, but like Juggernaut's just one of the few heroes that can just absolutely explode the Medusa, and she has no ability to stop it.
Unless she's just farther ahead than the Juggernaut, right? With her HP pool or mana pool. Because there has to be a point where Omni Slash just falls off, right? In comparison to the tankiness that hero can provide.
No, it's kind of the opposite actually.
Really?
So Medusa carry doesn't really get that many mana items. Like this game, all she has is Manta Style for mana. I guess the ulti orb also gives her some. But she doesn't really like scale her mana that well. Whereas Juggernaut just needs damage items to scale with Omni. So like eventually if like the Juggernaut gets a rapier, that's gonna scale really well. And we saw it last game too. The Juggernaut was able to. Holy shit! I thought it was close.
That is true.
Medusa will just get popped bottom. No team around her. Lena could TP in with bots, but Dawn actually ults to the side, not able to get in there and stop the kill on Medusa.
Dimitri used his 9-second BKB there, but it looks like they got the sniper somehow.
That sniper did? Oh, on the back, the sniper got low and the Fury and TP'd in to kill him. Nice play by Crash. We'll die for it. Axe is here, but absolutely worth. Holy moly, that Crash is worth a lot of money. 700 gold.
That is a lot of money. The gold swings after these fights is just, it's crazy. 1,000 gold here, another 1,000 gold there.
These heroes are pretty lich. Lena will just get caught by the Juggernaut. Has no item to stop this from happening. Oh yeah, Shadow Blade. That's an item that you could get to try and stop the ultimate. Juggernaut's pretty farmed now. He's got 23,000 net worth. Is about 2,500 above the Medusa. No, 3,500 above Medusa. And he's probably feeling pretty strong right now.
Do you perceive that the Lena, if she's going Shadow Blade, might also go for the upgrade?
I mean,
Silver
eventually.
Edge.
I don't think it's a priority. It's okay versus Axe. And Sniper to a lesser extent. Mid lane, there was a jump. But nobody died. Axe used that BKB to get out of there. I do like how the Juggernaut adapted this game to his cores, going Blink pretty early on just to be able to go in with this Tusk and Axe as a follow-up to try and burst with the Omni Slash like way earlier than before. Also going for that Monkey King bar pretty early as well. So just like knowing what you're going to be going up against and what your team is and just like itemizing correctly for that.
Yeah, looking at the Medusa in comparison, it looks as though she's just following the same build despite having different circumstances. I
I
don't
mean,
think the
this
Chris.
is a pretty standard build.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you go Scotty because it's AoE slow with the Ags, which she's gonna go next. It's also just a very nice right clicking item because it prevents heroes from out right clicking you because of the attack speed slow.
I
It doesn't
guess.
really work that well versus Juggernaut though, because he can just ult you.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, guys. I will carry this game.
I guess with the Chrysalis there, I would have thought that she'd go for, or I guess, I don't know, maybe Daedalus is the pick here, but considering that Juggernaut was able to get an MKB pretty early on and she still went Butterfly, I would have thought that maybe she would go with something a little bit less countered.
She
But
probably wants. I don't know if you can really justify getting an MKB on Medusa because your job is really killing the team. It's not really killing the Jug. I
mm-hmm.
think it's more so Lena's job to kill the Jug in this game.
Mm-hmm.
She's not really itemizing it for it that well, but eventually she's going to be able to have the damage to kill the Jug during like the Stone Gaze fights. They don't really have like good lockdown for the Jug this game. Last game they had Axe. This game they have a Dying and a Dawnbreaker.
Yep.
So not especially good. They really just need items to prevent the Omni from doing anything. I would be very surprised to not see Nullifier get picked up this game once again by Juggernaut.
Yep, I agree.
Because, yeah, the only way that Radiant have to stop Omni Slashes, just like with hero abilities, is with the Tombstone Shard. And he has not gone Tombstone Shard this game. I am very surprised. So I feel like
That's a
that's...
bit dis.
Oh, nice dodge by the Lena. Locke getting out of there away from the axe.
I thought that would have been a core pickup.
I was thinking that's why they picked the Undying, is because it's a nice save for the Omni Slash. Because it makes the Tombstone a little turret that you can enter.
Mm-hmm.
But opting not to go it, and instead going Reeves into Pipe. So,
One thing I did notice. Oh,
good.
go ahead.
Radiant are going Roche, Dire. Seems like they want to contest it. They drop the A Blast. Axe is not in position to call just yet. This Medusa is still going to be hitting Roche. They're going to jump on her. Kick her out of it. Oh, that's probably not what you wanted to do. Get her away from the axe.
No.
The Aegis is on the floor. Medusa will pick it up. Meanwhile, in the back, we have Lena trying to kill Sniper, and AA Jug is looking for a blink opportunity. He will blink in. Goes on the Dawn. It jumps to the Undying. Undying goes down. Crash dies as well. Dawn will get picked up by Emu along with Crash. Sniper just kind of generating this fight. And Medusa has an Aegis, but it's pretty low mana. Is going to have to fight this team basically by herself at this point. Lena's on the side, has Silver Edge, looking for a pick. Dire is going to be able to stun with the Sniper. They'll bring him down. Stone Gaze keeps those heroes off to so long enough for help to arrive. Jug blinks in. Has no Swift Slash. Not sure what he's trying to do. No way to catch the Lena. And we'll just be backing to defend the top tower.
One thing I noted about Crash's items is I almost feel like he itemizes really defensively, but it does seem like this time he's built a little bit more offensive insofar as like the Maelstrom Chrysalis here with the Falcon's Blade.
Mid fight, This will get kicked in. Tusk does die for it though by Blanca. This lane is starting to scale, but it instantly dies to the axe blink. That is tragic. Are you surprised by the Lena build? My Blanca's build?
Yeah, I mean, just in general, from like compared to last game, obviously he was in a situation in which he had to build a little bit more defensively.
Hmm.
But I feel like he's kind of following that same pattern almost. But not quite. I guess I see why he's building the things that he's building.
I mean, last game he was playing an axe. You don't.
Was he X? Oh, he wasn't the
Yeah.
DP? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Blanca was mid axe, and Dama was the DP.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Swift Slash will bounce to the creeps, keeping the Undying alive for the time being. Jug does spin, doesn't want to commit that full Omni to get this kill. Undying has Greaves, staying alive for a little bit longer, but Jug will eventually whittle that hero down. Unstoppable streak on Granola. Meanwhile, bottom, Axe Blink finds the Dawn, gets her down to half HP. She will Solar Guardian out of there with Axe very fast. And the Snowball was not fast enough to get out of there, or to cancel that. I mean, Lena's building Glass Cannon. I want to say Glass Cannon, but she wants Shadow Blade this game because she has to be able to burst like the backline. That's her job this game. And like if she gets caught, there's no real way to save her. Like if Axe catches her, she's dead. If the Jug catches her, she's dead unless she gets that Shadow Blade off. If the A blasts her, she's basically dead. Like so, she's playing like a very kitey run around hero that just kills the backline. Dawn gets caught once again by the axe at bottom, and this time she will go down. So that is a non-buyback Dawn. Which means Dire has the opportunity to go high ground. Lena, nice dodge on a Berserker's Call. Dimitri actually gets sprouted up. Jug did a nice job using Battle Fury to break down that tree to let Dimitri out of there, otherwise he would have died. Nice play by Granola there. Mid Tusk kicks the Medusa to the mid tower. Kind of a weird target. And the Lena will right click. Smokes comes out. Will not save. Ooh, the blinking by, or the TPing by Crash actually cancels the smoke. And so that will get the kill on Tusk. Crash does die for it, but that gets the axe killed, and the sniper is trying to GTFO. Jug did kill the bottom racks during this, so he is now just coming back to join the fight. Lena trying to bring down the sniper. Sniper getting solo. Jug Swift Slash onto the Undying, brings the Undying down. It is just the Medusa at this point. She brings down AA. Trying to kill Juggernaut. Getting very low. She has no mana regen. And
She
will
got
go down.
stun locked there. I would not have wanted to be in that position. Just the sniper procs and then the MKB.
She needs her team around her to keep her alive. I mean, she can't be soloing a Jug and Sniper by herself. These two heroes are very strong versus her.
Mm-hmm.
And Dire are going to try and go for tier 4s. Jug does have the Blink. And Dawn doesn't really have a good way to cancel it, so Jug's feeling pretty confident. Ooh, nice Ags ult by a Furion, roots them in position. Jug will Swift Slash in, gets down very low. She BKBs out, goes back in with the ult Solar Guardian, kills Sniper. Jug now in trouble, turns around, full Omni committed. Who's gonna die? It's gonna be Crash. Sprouts himself, but Jug just blinks out of there. And they desperately want to kill this Juggernaut. Tusk actually comes in though, uses the dust to scare off this Lena. Dire will turn around onto the Dawn. Walrus punch her up.
Oh,
Another Swift Slash by Granola will bring Dawn down. Radiant's got to be a little careful here. They're kind of running out of heroes for the base defense. As they retreat back to base. Axe's TPing in now. The Walrus kick. The Undying back to the Juggernaut. We'll get that kill. Lena, ooh, gets caught by the Axe. Berserker Call just reaches. That's probably going to be the game. As Medusa, once again, the only one with buyback. Now just respawning. And I don't think they have any way to stop this. They will drop all spells on the Medusa. This will be her first life. She will immediately buy back. Stone Gaze, run at them. She'll get kicked away. Juggernaut not hitting base for the time being. I mean, there's no real respawns coming up anytime soon. The earliest is 30 seconds on Dawn, so they can just kind of kite this Medusa. They will right-click her down once again. She just does not have the damage to do basically anything to these heroes. And our Plasminus Legend will 2-0 Jason Voss. They will continue on in the uppers. Jason Voss drops to the lowers. Good series. As we have a little bit of banter at the very end of the game.
No, Mr. Toxic.
So we basically just saw two of the exact same drafts go into each other. A little bit of variation, but the core was the same.
Mm-hmm.
Dusa just got hard countered by Jug once again. Surprised not to see the ban come out. They just felt like they needed, or they had the draft to deal with it this time around, but they obviously didn't. Undying did not go that shard. Very surprised by that. Yeah, what can I say? Just similar to early first game, just a lot of scrappy back and forth in the early game, and then very tight game, and then just all of a sudden, just the net worth just drops off a cliff. As our Plasma's Legend just one fight after fight in that late game.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That was great.
Yeah, I would say MVP that game was probably Granola. He did a great job in finding solo pickoffs, itemizing well, actually playing with the team early, and obviously just farming exceptionally well. Like, look at that takeoff. Even early on at like 25 minutes, just start differentiating from the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's going to be the conclusion of this best of 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for co-casting, Pi.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we will probably see you again next week for next series. I'm not sure who's playing then. But see you all then.